Welcome back to the OK Carver channel, everybody. Today I'm going to talk about these Cedar charcuterie boards that are in front of me. I had a lot of fun making these. It was a good little project. I made them for a local restaurant to me, the Blackened Brew here in Hammond, for a new menu item they got. They did some French toast that feeds up to 4 people. It's really good. Definitely go check them out. But if you want to see how I made these charcuterie boards, keep watching the video. This is my cedar pile. We're gonna go through it.
So as a woodworker and a small hobby sawmill owner, my dream is to build projects with the lumber that I mill myself. And I want to do that as sustainably as I can and to help out as many people in my area as I can at the same time. Well, living in Louisiana, it gives me that chance every time we get a big storm. And when I just get online, make a little post, letting people in my area know, hey, if you or someone you know has got a tree that's down in their yard, I can come out, I'll help process all your limbs and get it all situated to where the only thing you got to do is burn that stuff, and I'll take the log and get it out of your hair. And then that gives me the chance to get that log and to help somebody out. And then instead of that log just going to the burn pile, I can build projects like these charcuterie boards out of it.
That's our stack of wood. And that's the 6-month-old puppy Rip, who has been a little velociraptor. Let me tell you. Ooh, I'm winded.
So this cedar tree I got from Gonzales, Louisiana, right after Hurricane Ida. It was blown down. I went out there with my stepdad. We loaded this bad boy up, brought it to the house, and I cut everything pretty much down to, 4/4 to 5/4 inch thick. And it's given me all this lumber to make these charcuterie boards out of. I would love to make like a hope chest purely out of this stuff, but they're so figured and knotty.
Well, that turned out pretty good. I got 15 of them right here. Some of them are pretty wide. Some of them are only right at the 8.5 is as narrow as I feel comfortable going. And some of these are there. Shoot, some of these are the full width of the Milwaukee. The Makita, and I think that's like 50. Why am I thinking? That's 14 inches. So that works out. That'll go through my planer. They do have a little bit of cup. And I do have this one. And I don't know if I want to do epoxy again. It's the bane of my existence, I tell you. But I might try my hand at it again. We'll see. But I will have to run some of these through the bandsaw, clean up some of the edges. Some of them are really wide. And then I'll have to clean up all this bark. So let's do some bandsaw work. Alright, I got everything cut to where I want it. It's time to start stripping this bark off before I run it through the planer and start getting it all flat and cleaned up. I just want to do one board, let you watch me do one board, and then I'll set a time lapse up and we'll roll from there, okay? This is what I use. I got an old chisel I've had for as long as I can remember. Don't know where I got it, but it's super sharp. And then I use the Bauer surface conditioning tool from the old Harbor Freights. And just 2 clamps, and that's it. A lot of times you could peel most of this cedar off like that. That's not going to make for a very interesting video if it just peels off like that. Alright, it didn't all come off. And I just take the chisel, Watch where my hand goes. Get underneath it. Peeling this cedar is super easy. It don't always go like that when you got some hardwood. That hardwood likes to fight back. Dang it. Hoping that would pop. I have normal flat chisels, but they can't get underneath this bark as good as this old school one does. And like I said, I don't even know if this is like considered a real chisel, but man, it works good for this. All right, that's the first step. Clamp it down. This part's a little loud, but it works real good. I just have it set on setting 3. I don't really know what all that is, but that's what it's on. There's a lot more bark over here I didn't notice. I'd rather not waste my sandpaper on. Alright, now this is a charcuterie board. This little bit of bark that's in here, I'll sand a little bit more by hand. But that's it. I'm gonna leave all these little worm, I guess bore holes, because it looks really nice when you put your finish on there. But that's it. That's how I get my edges clean. It doesn't take very long, but it does when you got 15 of them. I got all the boards cleaned up, all the bark and everything off of it. It's time to run it through the planer. Now I just picked this planer up. It's not new. I bought it used, but it's replaced my old DeWalt. Sold the DeWalt on the old Facebooks. So this is his maiden voyage in the OK Carpenter shop. I don't know if you can see, but I got a nail right here and a nail right here that I just sent through brand new planer earlier. Sucks. There's a time in every project where you got to decide if you're just going to throw it all away or complete the thing. And that normally happens at about this step right here. It's called the sanding step. You know, it's everyone's favorite. But I'll throw you on time lapse. This is normally where I would fall asleep if I was watching this video, but good luck. I have all of the boards sanded to 180, well, in 180. I started with the 180 because this is so soft, it gets it buttery smooth. And now I'm going to put a round over on all of the straight lines, and then I'll move on to 220. So I'll set up a time lapse, knock out a couple of these round overs, and then get back to sanding.
So this is me the next day, refilling everything, and yeah, I had a spill. Thought I'd do better than that, but here we are. And this is so fun, y'all. I don't know if y'all got a branding iron. Everyone needs a branding iron. This is a very good investment and probably one of the funnest things to play with in the entire shop. I love it.
Started with 15, I'm down to 12. One had a pretty serious bow that I couldn't get out of. One had a pretty serious crack that was all the way through it with like maybe 4 inches on the other side of actual wood holding it together. And this is cedar, so it's real soft, so there was no integrity to that one. And the, what happened to the 15th one? Oh yeah, the 15th one is the one that had the big hole in the center of it that I was thinking about epoxying. Well, I abandoned that. The epoxy I did use on all of these is my deep pour epoxy, and it's 72 hours. So when you see me mixing that epoxy up, it's like 5 days later. I finally got everything sanded down. Didn't record that because that's horrible. But I got everything sanded down. I just went and did the OK Carpenter burn-in after I put 1 coat of wipe on poly. And yes, they're charcuterie boards, they're not cutting boards. I put 1 coat of polyurethane on them. I'm about to put my 2nd coat on now, and I'll time lapse that.
All right, I'd like to say thank y'all for everybody that stayed to the end of this video. I know it's kind of long, but it was a lot of fun making. I really enjoy making these videos and sharing them with everybody. If you're in local to the Louisiana Hammond area, I highly recommend checking out the Blackened Brew. It's like a gourmet burger craft beer joint, but this is what they come out like in the end, and they're so beautiful. I wish y'all could see them in person. Y'all have a good one.
It's called sanding. Now, I have a good sander, so it ain't that bad, but I didn't always have this sander, and it has instilled that deep-seated hatred for sanding. And my God, I think I could probably get sanding probably 3 or 4 more times in this little string of video, but I don't know. Let's go ahead and sand this thing. Well, this is my new shop helper right here. His name is Rip, and if you can tell, he's gotten into my polyurethane all over himself. Whoever says get a puppy, don't listen to them.